Hello, my name is Nasty, and in today's video I'm going to talk a little bit about these mini display panels and what they are. I get asked about this all the time in videos, so I just wanted to explain it. And then also give you a blueprint so you can use it yourself. So what are these? I use these here, I use them on Fulgora for all the little mini display panels, and I use them all over the place. They're really versatile. It's something that I've wound up creating, and they use a concept called packed RGBs. So I'm not going to explain how packed RGBs work, but I will explain kind of what this is. So they're really simple. You connect them to whatever you want to monitor. In my case, I'm monitoring the space hub here, and I'm curious about like the resources that go into crafting foundations. I have a ship that goes around, picks up all of the items, and then crafts foundations in space. So the way that I do that is then I copy this blueprint, and what it does is it's really simple. You specify in here, and you don't have to put them into different folders. I just did it for convenience, but you specify a couple things. The resource that you want, so you pick a target value. So I want 32,000 stone here, I want 16,000 tungsten, I want 16,000 carbon fiber, etc. So you put all those in here in the constant combinator. Then you pick a high value, so when you want the indicator here to be green, a low value when you want it to be red. So for example, if I made this, let's say 50, you'd see that right now this is below 50%, so this one will go red. So if I go back to 10, that's fine, then this will go back to yellow. And this affects all of them. So it's basically a high-low percentage of what you want to see for any value that you plug into here. Then from there, now that we specified our values, that's basically it. You specify this, hook up a single green wire somewhere to the thing that you're monitoring into this particular combinator, and it will compute all the colors and the percentages that you want. So let me explain how you'd wind up setting this up. So the easiest way to do that is I'll just demo it by replacing everything that I have in here and setting it up. So I have a circuits book, and I am going to go and I will copy, let's say, like this is basically the folder. So I'm going to remove all these things just so we can see it. So there's a couple of things in here. There's a resource RYG, and there's some explanations in it, and there's an expansion. There's also one with a percentage symbol. This is the one that I wind up normally using, and then there's an expansion. So we're going to go ahead and add those here, and I will just copy this and flip it, let's say, and I'll put this here. Cool, done. And I'm going to say that, again, I want to monitor a couple things. So it's really useful if you're monitoring the thruster fuel, for example. It's one that's pretty common to use. And I'm going to pick another item. So let's say I pick stone, because that's the one that I want. High percentage is going to be 90, low percentage is 10. You can pick whatever you want. I'll just say 80 here, and I'll say that's good enough. Cool. So we've built it. So the next thing then I'm going to wind up doing is I'm going to add another just a bridge connection to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to go and add this to the hub here so that I have everything on this little green network. So this green network is going to tell me a whole bunch of things. That's the information that's in there. Great, that's done. So the next thing is I just have to hook it up in here, and I just need to specify this. Cool. So once I've hooked all these up, now I have something where I can add values and correspondingly. Now, if I want to expand it and I want more values, well, that's pretty easy. I just wind up adding an expansion here, and I select another material. So another one that I care about is carbon fiber. So let's go and add that. I also care about going and adding tungsten, so I'll do that. And I also care about, let's see, lithium, I think. Those are the values that I care about then here. Cool. So I've specified all those. So then all I need to do here is you can see there's a red wire down here. Just hook all these up. And then I press to get the green wire and hook these up. So then that's all done. And you can see the displays, and there's a little percentage icon that's over them so that you can see them. That's done. Someone else has a script where you can generate this. So I've just included them so that and made it generic so that I don't have to do it every single time. So then all you got to do is now specify these values now in the constant combinator. So you can press Q to highlight it. So let's say, and by default, it's going to pick the stack size of it, but you can change those values. So I wanted 16,000 bees. Cool, done. I want 30,000 stone. Done. And let's say for monitoring fuel that's on the ship, I'm going to say I'm going to say 25,000. That's how much I can hold in any of those tanks. And the same thing over here, 25,000. Cool, done. And then I also need tungsten, so let's grab tungsten. And I should know where this is by now, but I always forget. So 16,000 here. And lithium is going to be the same at 16,000. Cool. So that's now done. So now if I look at this, now I have a nice little display panel, shows me all the things that I care about monitoring, and I can keep this. A couple of different useful features and places where you can have them is if you're monitoring for specific resources at a glance. So one of the things I like to do is I like to go and pin the actual ship that I have, and then have them show up here in the overview. So what's nice about this is I can quickly look at a glance and see which of the materials are any of the ships are either low, high, what they're doing currently, and I can basically quickly check some of the different monitors. And so you can see them even here for the biter exports. You can see that there's these little display panels. I don't have percentages, but I just use the green and yellow icons there for that, just so I can quickly see. And so that's convenient when I am wherever I'm at. I can just quickly look. What's the status of that ship? What is it currently doing? What is it low on? What does it need more resources for? And just check that. So it's a nice just overview of things, and that's why I use the green, yellow, and red symbols, so that I don't have to actually go and check individually the ship's status and investigate it. I can just quickly look, okay, everything's green, that one's yellow and green, that one's fine, and then and look into it, okay, why do I have low legendary ice? And that also just makes sense because it's the hardest thing to wind up going and acquiring. So that is, yeah. So that's effectively how I wind up using those. Another place just to explain it as a pro tip here for the end. Since all these values are anyway in percentages, one of the things that are nice that you can do is you can just hook up an alarm and just say, hey, if I have less than 100% logistics bots, then go and create an alert and let me know. So that way I remember to add logistics bots to the network. And then here as well, if I don't have heavy oil, just, hey, hook up to heavy oil. I have something, some pipe is broken or something is missing. And then you can just easily do it by just saying, hey, this is 0%, 10%, 100%, whatever you want to. So already, all you got to do is just hook up a green wire, connect it to the display panels, and then got little alerts as well. So, all right, that's actually it now for the video. Thank you for watching. Oh, and one last thing. If you are interested in understanding how packed RGBs work and how you can make them have all these different colors, let me know and I'll give an overview and an in-depth guide on how packed RGBs work